Hi, everybody. My name is Jerry Sibley. And boy, do I have a story about the Blue Man because Robert Hood got his name, the Blue Man, while in Massachusetts. See, it all started about 1990 when Robert first came to Massachusetts to be the IT director of the Sheraton Boston. At the time, my company was the hospitality point of sale system for the Sheratons throughout the United States, and I was the local manager of the Sheratons. Well, I put on my suit and tie one day to go in and meet Mr. Robert Hood. And when I got there, I was greeted by a young woman. Oh, she was mid 20s. Her name was either Mariana or Marielle. I can't remember. Very cute, very pretty Greek young lady. But she was really stuck up. And I remember saying that I was there to meet Robert, and she said, do you have an appointment? I said, yes, I do. I believe I made it through you. And a few minutes later, this Mr. Hood walks out in his suit. And within about 5 minutes in his office, we became instant friends. I said, "So, what are you doing in Boston?" He said, "Oh, I came from Canada, and thought it'd be great to do something really neat and unique." And I said, "Okay, so what are you doing in your spare time?" He said, "Nothing. I don't have any friends. I don't know anybody." I said, "Well, how'd you like to go out to dinner?" Now, at that time, in those days, I had, these wonderful credit cards and expense accounts and things like that. So I said, "How about Thursday night? Let's go out." And I really do believe it was a Thursday night. So I picked him up at the hotel. We went out to one of Boston's premier steakhouses, and Robert ate like he was a man about to go to the electric chair. He was unbelievable. He could chow down. And we then went back to the hotel. We hung out in the bar for a couple of hours. We had a great time. Well, a few days later, I found myself in Boston. And so I trotted up to Robert's office, only to have this young woman stopped me. She was the gatekeeper, and she said, "Do you have an appointment?" I said, "No, I didn't make one, but I'm sure he'll see me." She said, "He's awfully busy. I'm sure he will not see you, Jerry. You really need to make an appointment if you want to see him, and you need to call me because if you don't call me, you're never going to get an appointment, and he's very, very booked." Well, all of a sudden the door opened, and I hear, "Jer, come on in." So poor Marielle, she was never the same again because she realized she did not have any authority. Well, that was the beginning of our friendship, and our friendship lasted, oh boy, from 1990 until Robert's untimely passing. We started to do work together, and after he left the Sheraton, I would hire him for my then fledgling point of sale company, and we'd go out and we'd do jobs together. And I can't tell you how much of a help he was. Some of the things he did for me, including coming up with a crack for software that we could no longer use or no longer buy anymore. And he was just amazing. We just had a lot of fun. And over the years, we had a very special relationship. I had a son. His name was Jordan, and Jordan was born in 1989. And Robert would always come over to the house and hang out with me. Now, in those days, he drove a blue car. He had a blue motorcycle. He had a blue jacket, blue jeans. The only thing he didn't smoke were blue cigarettes. But nonetheless, when my son was about 2.5 years old, Robert pulled in, and my Jordan looks out and he says, "Daddy, the Blue Man is here." Well, folks, guess what? That name stuck. And for the rest of my son's life and for the rest of Robert's life, he was the Blue Man. And I would call him on the phone and I would say, "Yo, Blue." And he would say, "Yo, Jerry, Mr. Sibley." He'd always call me Mr. Sibley. We had a ball. We would sit out by my pool. We talk about the stars. We talked about space. We talked about Area 51. Frank, I do want to chat with you a little bit about Area 51 at some point in time because Robert said you know more than the average bear about Area 51. Robert and I would speak not every day, not every week, but every couple of months. And It was always just a great time to hear him say, "Yo, Blue! Yo, Jerry!" When my son passed away, somehow Robert was in Boston and he showed up my house and he stayed with us for a couple of days. And I just can't tell you how much that meant to me. I know right now, Blue, you and Jordo are having a great time. You're hanging out, you're sitting by the pool. Probably at this point in Jordan's life, he'd be 30. You're probably chasing women, and I hope he's a good wingman for you, and I hope you're teaching him all the tricks of the trade. I wish I could be there with you folks today. Unfortunately, I was not able to get the time off as I'm a very busy justice of the peace and I marry people. But I do want to say he was incredibly well loved. Robert was an incredibly loving person. My life will never be the same. I will miss him forever, and I loved him dearly. So, Robert, to you, I'm so sorry you passed. To your family, you weren't with us long enough, but I know how much they loved you as well. So, do me a favor, go wear something blue, be the blue man. You're the best. Bye bye.